Hey guys, my name is Nori and welcome back to my channel. I did my manga collection about a while ago and I got some, requests on recommendations for beginners on manga. So today, this is gonna be volume 1 of this series. You get it? I'm such a cheese ball. Don't worry about me. So I've compiled, I believe it's 7 mangas that I think it would be a good start for people who haven't gotten into manga and are scared to, but want to, experiment or kind of just jump right in, because I love manga. I've always loved manga for the longest time. I want to say it's one of the most genres that I read or I seek out to read. I always have a great time. There's so many series, like, it's great. So without further ado, this is going to be Manga Recommendations for Beginners Volume 1. Alright, so we are going to start with a popular author, and everybody loves his series. His older series and now his new series or recent series that has come out, and I'm talking about Ichigo Takano with Dreaming Sun and Orange. Now, Dreaming Sun, I would describe it as a slice of life with romance aspects to it. It is so good. I picked it up this year. I read like all of 1 through 6 and I tried to read it down on one sitting because I just could not stop. It is so good. Dreaming Sun starts with the synopsis is kind of weird, but it's Shimana, and she's really unhappy with her home life situation. She doesn't like her name. Her grades are meh. Like, her life a disaster as of right now. So she runs away and ends up finding this guy at the park, and he offers her a room at his house, and all of them become roommates. Now this follows her, trying to fix her life, fix her grades, making friends, and falling in love and discovering she has feelings and how to deal with them. Like, this is a great slice of life manga, and if you don't like that kind of stuff, that's okay. But if you love slice of life romance with some tea and romance sprinkled it and some jokes and some serious topics, Dreaming Sun is definitely one that you should highly pick up. Now, moving on to Orange. Now, Orange is something that I would like to describe as like a sci-fi romance. Now, the good thing about Orange is that it only has 2 volumes and a third one, which is in the future. So this is about Naho. Naho gets this letter from the future, and we find out that it's 10 years in the future that this boy, Kakeru comes into her class, and something tragic is going to happen, and the letter suggests or tells her, you have to change certain things that are going to happen in the present so that this boy survives. And we later find out, which is a trigger warning, that this boy commits suicide in the future, and she has to figure out what actions can she change to keep this boy from taking his own life. And it does sound dark, but this manga is precious. It is, I dare say, it's a cult classic. Everybody has read it, and I highly suggest that you pick it up. But again, trigger warnings for suicide and depression. Alright, the next manga that I want to recommend, it is The Promised Neverland by Kayu Shidai. Now, this, I don't want to say it gets not a lot of hype, but this is a newer series, I want to call it, because again, it has a manga, and now people are starting to get on and talk about it. Now, I would describe this one as a dark fantasy, and oh boy, it gets dark. So this follows the 3 main characters. It is Emma, Norman, and Ray, but mostly it follows Emma. Now, all of these kids are in a house in an orphanage because people have given them up. They don't have homes, And this orphanage, you know, they have strict rules, they have chores, they have actual numbers on their neck so that mother can keep track of them, and every single day they have to take tests. So, you know, these kids are active, these kids go to school, and that orphanage holds up to ages 12. Now, these three main characters are 11, so this is their last year at this orphanage. Now, everybody gets super excited to get adopted, to live outside the gated walls, and this little girl gets adopted, and she's really small. I think she's like 4 or 5, and everybody knows her, and everybody knows that she loves her little, you know, stuffed bunny. But when she gets hauled away by mother to meet her new family, she leaves her stuffed bunny. So Emma, Ray, and Norman kind of take care of that and go off to, you know, the forbidden gate that nobody's supposed to go in there, and go to take her bunny, to find out that they find this little girl's body. They find her corpse, and somehow within the scene they find out that this orphanage uses all those kids to farm meat. So those three have to find out how to escape and how to save their brothers and sisters. Like, I'm smiling because when I read that, I was like, I already knew about the synopsis, but when I actually read it, I was like, oh my god. I was shocked. And I cannot wait to continue on with the series because this series is so good. Y'all, I think that if you are more into the darker genre, and this has, you know, fantastical elements like demons and all that stuff, I think that this would be a great start if you're into more of the darker fantasy stuff. I'm having a great time with it, and I highly recommend it too. Alright, the next manga that I'm going to be recommending, I have not shut up about it this whole entire year, and it is for a good reason, and that is Yana of the Dawn by Mitsuho Kusanagi. Y'all, if you have seen any of my videos, you know that every single month my wrap-ups have Yana of the Dawn volumes. I think I have 3 more to catch up on 20. This is it's still going on. It has a couple volumes, and this is the manga that I am the most far in. Like, I believe I already started volume 18. So like, I'm in the series and I'm in it for the long haul. Y'all, this series is so good. This series I would describe as adventure with hints of magical realism kind of thing. Now, the reason why is Yana, she's a princess. She lives in her kingdom. She has her bodyguard, Hawk, and there is Prince Suan. Yana tells the dad on her 16th birthday, which Prince Suan comes to visit, that, you know, she wants to marry Suan, that is the love of her life, and her father's like, no, you have no idea what you're talking about. You don't even know Suan. Trust me on this. No. And a lot of people don't like the king because he's very passive. He doesn't like war. He doesn't like conflict. The kingdom has lost all of its glory. You know, people are struggling, and the king does absolutely nothing. So people don't even like him. So on Yana, Princess Yana's 16th birthday, she goes and confronts her dad, and to open the door and find out that Prince Suan killed him. And now Prince Suan wants to take the throne for himself so that he can fix the kingdom, but he killed Yana's dad. So she wants to get revenge. Hawk takes Yana away from the kingdom to figure things out, and this is where the magical realism plays in, that there is a legend about the dragons, the 4 dragons. Now, if you can see from the title up there, Yana has bright red hair, which symbolizes that she is the red dragon. She is, you know, the symbol of hope, the symbol of peace, the symbol of unity. And then the 4 dragons, there's legend that when the 4 dragons unite, you know, they're going to restore the kingdom and solve the problems and all that stuff. So we just follow that whole entire adventure of her figuring out what to do for her kingdom, how to avenge her father, and what's gonna happen with the 4 dragons. Like, I love this series so much. I cannot stop talking about it. Y'all, just go pick it up. Honestly, I've had a great time. Like, again, I read a lot of manga, and this is the type of manga that hooked me from like volume 1. Like, after I finished volume 1, I'm like, okay, I need to read the rest of them. Like, sometimes you're kind of like iffy of like, maybe I should continue, maybe I shouldn't. Dawn of the Dawn, right off the bat, you're like, what is gonna happen? I need to know. I highly recommend that you pick this manga up, and I promise you that you will definitely enjoy it. The next manga that I'm going to be recommending, it is Astra Lost in Space by Kenta Shinohara. Now, this one, again, it's more recent, and out of every single one on this list, I suggest that if you are really a beginner and you don't know if you like manga or not, and you're trying to get used to the style, you know, reading it starting from the back to the front, and there's like a specific formula, I highly suggest that you start with Astra Lost in Space. Now, this is a very simple manga, you know, to get through. There are 8 characters, and even though there are 8 characters, it's really easy to tell them apart. The storyline is really fun. It's adventure, it's sci-fi. You know, I think this is a great beginner's manga. This is fast forward to 2063, where interstellar space travel, it's a no-brainer. Like, everybody just travels the galaxy because apparently we have discovered how to do that in 2063. So since this has become like a norm, every school takes I think it's called a planet day, when a group of kids, you know, go off to the spaceship, travel to a planet, spend some time there, you know, exploring, and then come right back. Now, as you can see from the title, something happens along the way and they get knocked out of the orbit, and since they are kids without supervision, you know, they have to figure out a way to get to the planet. And on the way, you know, since they're on a spaceship and this was only supposed to be a field trip, you know, they have to stop on planets to get food, shelter, and it's a great time. I had a really fun time reading this manga, and again, one of the good things about it is that it only has 5 volumes, so it is not a huge commitment as well. And I really, again, I enjoyed this manga, and I suggest that you pick this up. Alright, the next 2 books I actually had in my possession, which is something that I want to talk about. If you want to know how to read manga or what apps to read manga in, I will make a video if you request it. So comment down below if you want to see that type of video. But the next one that I'm going to be suggesting, it is The Ancient Magnus Bard by Kore Yamazaki. Again, this one has 8 anime. I believe all of these, I don't think you know what, I think all of these do have animes. Alright, so this follows Shisei, and that's the girl on the cover. And I'm actually holding volume 2 because I can't find volume 1. So Shisei, she is her family abandoned her because they think she is a freak. Shisei actually has a sight to see supernatural things, which makes her a very valuable person, because a lot of people in this world, they just, you know, they don't have that anymore as of recent. So she gets sold off in like a slave auction, and the mage right here, which obviously, if you can't tell, he is definitely not human, but he is the most powerful mage that is left in this world. and he takes her and forms an apprenticeship so that, you know, she can follow in his footsteps, and when he is gone, he leaves the legacy to her. So this kind of follows her taking on the apprenticeship, finding out about mythical creatures. You know, we have fairies here, and we have all kinds of lore. It's a great time. You know, I'm definitely continuing on with the series. I have volumes 1 and 2, and I will keep reading, if not online, but I kind of want to own this because I really like it. And if you are into fantasy, and if you like, you know, I don't want to say school, but that involves, you know, teaching and new discoveries, especially in like a fantasy thing, this will definitely be your manga, and I highly suggest that you pick it up like everything else. I'm a mess. The last manga that I have, I don't think it is a surprise because a lot of people have read it and have loved it, and if you are a beginner manga and you have not picked this up, this is your sign. Pick it up. And I am talking about Death Note Volume 1. Now, as you can see, this totally looks different from any other manga. It's because it's called the Black Edition with the sprayed edges. Fan-freaking-tastic. But this actually is a combination of volumes 1 and 2. Now, Light, he is a top grade student, you know. He's so smart that he's the type of person who gets bored, and you know, his family's doing good. His father is in the police academy, you know, he's a policeman. Everything is fine until one day he finds this death notebook. Along with that comes the Shinigami death god, which he is awesome. I love him so much. You'll see why. And he teaches them that this entire notebook, if you open it and you write the name of the person, this person is going to die. Now, it starts off, if you just write it, the name, they will die off of a heart attack. But continuing on with the series, things get creative. Now, Light thinks that, you know, he's gonna get rid of every single evil person in this world, but as you can see, that is a problem because you are playing God. And yeah, this manga dabbles into, you know, that gray line between right and wrong, because he is getting rid of very bad people, but at the same time, you know, he's murdering these people. So it's like, whose side are you on? And it is so interesting. I've been recommending this manga since I was in middle school, and everybody who has read it absolutely freaking loves it. And the anime, fan-freaking-tastic as well. Now, I suggest that if you're going to read this manga, I highly suggest that you pick up in the Black Editions volumes 1 and 2, because sometimes, which happens in all manga, sometimes one volume doesn't actually get a lot done, which again, these things are short. These are less than 200 pages and it goes by really quick. So if you do read it, volumes 1 and 2, it's going to be action-packed, left and right. It's great. I highly suggest that you pick this up. You will definitely not be disappointed. Alright, y'all, that is it for the volume 1 beginners manga recommendations. I definitely have more manga that I would want to recommend you, so I'm definitely going to be doing a volume 2 of that. I want to say within a month or so people can actually have time to read some of these. I would highly suggest that you read all of it, because again, I've read all of it and I have enjoyed them thoroughly. But if there is something that you like, or that specific one, do comment down below which is the one that you are most likely to pick up. Thank you so much for watching my videos, and of course my battery died while doing this outro. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!